girls at all. They're ladies, women, living dolls. I'm an equal opportunity employer. Don't care if she's a nurse, a maid, or a lawyer. So big, small, light, dark, short, or tall. Mike Master Trick is interviewing them all. No stuck-up snobs that can't get jobs. The kind that diss the honest men as if they were slobs. High self-esteem is good, but only to an extent. I want a woman to appreciate the time that I spent picking out that hallmark, the candy, the car, hand picking the clothes to make her look like a star. If a girl is made of sugar, spice, and everything nice, those qualities my girl will have twice. With an hourglass figure that rocks my world, so I can make her passion twirl.
Hi, and welcome to the special edition of the Music for Life podcast. I am your host, Kelly Davis, president of Imagine Podcasting, sitting in for the Chris Swan, as this is his podcast. So this is a special edition of, there he goes. This is a special edition of the Music for Life podcast, as we are really recording the history of hip hop here in North County in the 80s and 90s, from the pioneers, from the people who were there at that time. We have in our studio today, we have Trick is our special guest today, and we have, give us your new name now. I don't want to say your old one.
Divine Rival.
Divine Rival is in conjunction with the Outwork Dream Killers, who is helping to produce this segment. We thank them very much. In fact, my t-shirt that I'm wearing today, Imagine Podcasting, is directly from
Outwork Dream Killers.
There you go. So welcome. Trick, let me tell you something. Every time your name has come up so much in so many good ways in the capacity that you were in back then. So why don't you just tell us, this is the introduction to what was your contribution to hip hop?
Ooh, Lord of mercy.
Well, how about, where did you initially get into hip hop and how that flowed into that?
That's a good starting point, I guess. I was in high school when Rapper's Delight came out, when Curtis Blow first dropped. I was, playing football, running track, and my track squad, there's 4 guys on a relay squad, so we kind of ended up putting a little rap crew together, and at that time I was Bootsy.
He got Cowboys on, by the way. Y'all can't see it.
Look, I'm from the Southwest. Look, for real. You ain't gonna get nothing's gonna be fake. You're not gonna get no fake. I don't do fake. I was raised in a setting that wouldn't allow fake anything. So I'm from that era, which I miss it because I see a lot of fake things that happen. It just kind of boggles my mind. But I digress.
The rap group from the running.
I was at a high school in Barstow, California, and that story in and of itself is kind of unique because the percentage of people of color in Barstow was just not a lot. And it's
okay, we got to pause here. All right, that's
we
okay.
got a cue.
We got to, yeah.
So we're going to go back into it and where you left off.
I mean, there's so many elements of points that we could go from. I mean, I'm an alien in so many ways that I don't expect everything to resonate, but there's a historic manuscript here that is overdue. It represents the whole of hip hop on a global level, and it's profound and phenomenal. And I'm excited because clearly this is God's math. I mean, there's things that you couldn't put, you can't fake it. You couldn't put it in any way other than God had to have a hand on it. Because, man, I mean, me just sitting here with Will, who I've known, like, he's like a son of mine. He's like, he was like a brother of mine. He was like a son of mine because I had to miss him, I didn't want to go there. Like,
That's all right. Take your time. In this moment, what's the fullness of what's going on with you right now?
When you invest in people, and then you become a part of them, and so I invested in a group that was phenomenal. They they were they were like nothing that had been seen at that time. And I recognized their talents, I recognized their drive and their ambition, and we collectively moved as a unit, and they were on their way. They were on their way to a place that no one had seen before. And then this system said no to that. And then I watched them destroy someone's life. And we all went into it. We all got locked up. Just when he got locked up, when I heard that they had given him double life, if I was a cat, I guess I lost two at that moment. Because it took the air out of the wings of something phenomenal. And I couldn't do anything about it. And you just carry that because no one really wants to hear it. No one really cares about those things. And so I just had to carry that. And the thing you have to consider is that, to me, it was a success of an accomplishment of brothers getting together and working and making something phenomenal happen. And then everything about the system saying no to it. But I also watched as the energy that we stirred up, I watched other people eat off of it. I took this group to LA from Oceanside.
And can you say for which group? Because I know
B-Boy Rage.
There you go. And who was all in B-Boy Rage? Just some context there.
That was his group. It was Andre, Joey, Mr. Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we only did one single. But that single right now, you play it right now, and it's gonna burn your face. And when I got that single produced, we did that single in the same studio that NWA was conceived in. The Wrecking Crew, that was the studio they worked out of. So we're talking Dr. Dre, the same studio Dr. Dre worked out of. And to be frank, when I was working on their single, there was a extraordinary person standing over my shoulder taking notes. And his name is Battle Cat. And if you don't know who Battle Cat is, he was the man that produced Domino, Here We Go, that single. And he got robbed from that because they didn't give him credit, but he produced that. And then he became Snoop's personal DJ and producer and produced the East Siders and a bunch of other entities that kind of resembled B-Boy Rage. And see, where I'm from, I give credit where credit is due. And you can't do something, you don't, if you talk about the rock genre, there's not a rock guitar player that doesn't know like who Jimi Hendrix is, because it's standard for you to do that, have that knowledge, to learn how to play guitar. They have formal training for learning how to play guitar. So you can go to college and learn how to play guitar. And they're going to teach you the history of the guitar and the people that played it well. And so you're going to learn these things. See, hip hop culture didn't have that. So you have people just running around, some people telling you true things, some people just misleading, but it opened up a can of worms that had never been seen before. You now have, if you're a record executive, maybe you knew how to play the guitar. So you could talk to a guitar player and you guys can relate and you can build something from that. When you talk to the labels, when I was walking in the door, we were talking Chinese basically.
And I think it's important we've said this on some of the other episodes. First of all, this is there's no playbook like you're saying. There was no going to school and learning this, and you all were young. Y'all was young.
Yeah,
and so
we were kids,
and you had to learn this from scratch. How did you get the machines? How did you get how did you do that coming together? Am I right? This was
No, you did, but let me tell you a little secret. I was studied by Stanford University when I was 7 years old. They sent people to my school to study me at 7. That really happened. I don't know any other kids that I can say that I'm saying, hey, you remember like how that happened? No, I don't. But I know that I met Sophia Stewart, and we levitated to each other right away.
And for the record, for people who don't know who she is,
Sophia Stewart is the woman that they stole her manuscript to make Matrix and Terminator franchises. The Wachowski brothers, who now claim to be the Wachowski sisters, so that they can hide from the reality of stealing. James Cameron, who has made nothing but things that are just extensions of the third eye since he started making movies, and all the other people that were involved with stealing. Okay, that's a thing. Okay, so if I may, that in and of itself puts me in a very, very unique position. Then you consider that for whatever reason I moved to this city called Oceanside because we had family issues, and this is before the LGBTQ movement kicked in and everybody's cool with being gay. Well, I guess my dad wasn't in that genre of people, so him being gay wasn't quite as acceptable, so it created an entirely different animal. Puffy might be able to relate to that, okay? Because I can, from a different perspective, right? Which is also why I treat the industry the way I do. I'm the opposing factor to what everyone's looking at in the news right now. So while you guys are acting shocked and amazed by all the debauchery that all these people have done, you're fucking slow, okay? So for me, I've been this time bomb, just sitting on all this stuff. I watched Cat Williams come out and go, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Cat! Oh my God, for real? Oh my God!"
And you knew
what? I'm standing backstage with Cat Williams when the House of Blues wouldn't let him in. Okay, the same little cat that sells out venues all over the country. The House of Blues wouldn't let him in the venue. They wouldn't let me in either. And I had put money into a DJ Quick concert at the venue. But there's like so much debauchery and games and stuff going on. If you're not in the clique that's running the house, you might not be in the house that day. Okay, when Jay-Z and Beyonce took over the Grammys, I went to that, and I witnessed them taking over the Grammys. It was like, oh, okay. So there's things that people just don't get. Now I'm gonna hit you in the head in a real way. Now let's just talk about Oceanside, okay? Let's just talk about Oceanside. Oceanside and Oceanside's contribution to hip hop culture. You don't have to talk about me. I'm embedded in the concrete in so many ways that it's ridiculous. And lies are the foundation of what people do now as how they survived in this industry. Because if they had told the truth, you'd have been talking to me 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Because not only were you a witness, you were in it. You were there. You were a part of it.
Okay, let me just put it to you. I'm gonna give you the small parts, and you guys could go from there. Because see, I just see this picture of all these flowers that bloomed out of the dirt, right? Well, that means somebody put a seed in there. That's it. But you don't see the seed, do you? I don't. I see a gang of flowers though.
You don't
that
see who
came
planted
from
it
the
either.
seed, and you don't see the people take it. Oh, there's a little Mexican over there in the corner. Look like watering it, but I was the seed, and then I had to water it, and then I had to go pull them and plant it and take it, and then we had to do all that.
So speaking about the seeds and planting, and you're talking about this group you saw, where did you first encounter this group? Can you take us back to that moment?
Absolutely. Two things exist. First of all, it's a two or trifold scenario. Hip hop culture, when it came to Oceanside specifically, started with the DJ really. Okay? So, me and DJ Mixing Magic, and this is some phenomenal stuff because y'all ain't gonna get this math unless you listen and pay attention and connect the dots. Because y'all don't know it. Okay, so check this out. There was a guy named DJ Mixing Magic that came from Chicago. And he was cold. Like if you went to a party and DJ Mixing Magic was playing, you probably wasn't even dancing or nothing. You just probably was watching him.
He was like that, huh?
He was just, first of all, he was a pretty dude. Had long braids. Is like somebody, some chick had to sit down with him between their legs for hours. Oh magic, and then they had to hook his hair. And so when I met him, he just looked like a pretty dude. Like I was like, look at this pretty nigga. And he was DJing at a club, at a house party, and he was really super focused. Like, he didn't have no mic. He didn't talk. He didn't talk to the people at all. He just was mixing.
That's unusual for a DJ from what I remember.
I'm just saying, but see, I'm sorry, you a little girl. It's okay. You probably wasn't old enough to be at none of these parties, but he was mixing. He didn't talk. This is before there was you had to have an MC as a DJ. So he was mixing to where if you were dancing, you just stayed on the dance floor because he never let you off. And it wasn't like it wasn't like radio mixing where you putting on a record, bloop, and then the record ends, and then you go, okay, yeah, that was awesome. Here we go with the next one, bam. That's not how it went. So he was called Mixing Magic.
For a reason.
For a reason. So that stuff just blended and kept blending and kept blending. And so 3-4 hours later, you're just like, wow. And understand, for me, I was a musically inclined person, but I hadn't DJ'd before. I was a model. I had a modeling troupe. I came from out of high school, a whole nother story where I got brought in by this chick that was trying to get into Ebony Fashion Fair. RIP to her, because they murdered her. It don't matter if you're male or female. If you have chocolate genes, you're a problem. Okay, for anybody who doesn't have God in their life, and it's a simple fact. Because what does anyone do other than concern themselves with their biggest threat? I mean, it's typical. It's human nature. You go to a space, you know. I mean, you're not concerned. The tiger's not concerned about the ants. He's concerned about other tigers and other things that like could take his life. That's the only thing he's really concerned about. And so, you know, you always got to be concerned about these things that are afraid of you, you know. And so, yeah, we DJing. He's a DJ. I'm a DJ, and you know, you battle like everybody. You know, like what is man? What like we're athletes. We're competitors, right? That's what we do. We like, and it's really just our insecurities. Really, like we're like, damn, dude is dope. Am I dope as him? Can I be dope as him? Yeah, I'm dope as him. You know, like. You know, and sometimes like the simplest thing is women. Like, how do we gauge if we're cool? Like, some chick tells us that we're cool. Hey, you're cool. You know what? But he's cooler than you.
It's funny that you bring that up, Trick, because on one of our interviews, it was Revelation, part of IBS, that was saying that he knew he had made it because he had come to the club, and I think it's the record. That might be the record that he's talking about, and he came in and he said all the girls just
bounce.
It was more.
How we used to run the distillery and go in there and just grab girls and leave without even having to say nothing.
So I'm speaking to what you're talking about.
That's how you know.
That was the standard.
And the thing is, I mean, but it's math. Okay, it's math. It's simple math. It's simple addition. It's not even multiplication. It's not hard math. It's just simple math. Me plus him.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it.
And you're a DJ, so you're.
That's called the air chair.
The air chair.
Yeah, because we're up in the air. In a chair, we get to see everything. Okay, you know, like there's these terms that come so many different ways from the DJ or the DJ's position. Like, you know, if you're in the industry, you better learn how to work a room. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean to work the room? It means that you come into the room and you got to feel the vibe. You got to be able to get in and surf it a little bit, maybe, because if you can't surf, you're gonna drown. And in the air chair, you're controlling that vibe. Like, you got to feed the swimmers and the fish. They got to swim. And what they going to swim on? They got to, I know what's going to make y'all move. Check this out. Here we go. And we know, like, at the end of the day, I know, like, give me that song. Oh, it's your record? It's your new joint? Let me see. All right, check it out. I ain't going to say nothing. We just going to, they dancing. You see them dancing, right? All right, check this out. Up, bro, they're leaving. You see that, right? You see them leaving. They're leaving. They don't even know who it is. They just know that they don't like it. Or.
Because you're catching it right there. Yeah, so you can literally see it, feel it, smell it, all of that. So you know.
Look, Grandmaster Flash said it best. He's like, there's when you listen to songs, you know, let's say you have a good song, right? But in that good song, there's that one piece that's just electric in the song. It might be a bridge, you know, like hip hop became the purveyors of the piece. We took pieces from songs. Oh, that's James Brown. He's dope. Yeah. And that song is super dope. But there's a piece in that song that's just,
And it sounds like that you were able to identify that piece, not just you as being the creative that you are, but also seeing from the air chair how it's hitting.
In advance. Who's Dr. Dre? I mean, like, he's like what? Considered one of the best producers in the world, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Do we all agree with that?
Definitely.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I ask you, what's the difference between Dr. Dre and Battle Cat?
I know, from my opinion, I've heard of Dr. Dre, but I'm not from this area. I have not heard of Battle Cat, so that would be my difference.
And that's precisely what the difference is that I know. I know that the only difference between Dre and Battle Cat as producers is y'all know Dre. So I guess basically it's about his publicist. He has a better publicist.
You're asking me?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Dre has a better publicist.
Right.
That's it. Okay, from my perspective, because I know both of them. I've seen them both, and ironically, the single that we did with these guys inspired Battle Cat.
So how did you find these flowers, though? Where was that?
Specifically, these flowers were found by way of a homegirl that they had.
Who, Rose?
Nope.
Who?
Come on.
Ruby Moreno.
Oh, Ruby, yeah.
Because she went to school with them. Like, right? Y'all went to school together or something?
Probably. I don't remember.
She might have known Andre. She
probably knew Joey now.
I think it was. This was a local girl from I
got you.
Attack Mike. Okay. There's a local girl from I think she lived in Vista at the time, and I probably did I do something that I screwed up?
No, you good. Just want to make sure we get you captured. Is he good? Watch out for this back here. For those that are listening, we're just adjusting stuff because I
be tearing up stuff just so y'all know.
We got it. No, you said what was the?
He said Rose, but and Rose's relative, Rose Hutchinson she went to Oceanside High School. Matter of fact, she went to school with Junior Seau, also with a guy who the most phenomenal dance popper ever came out of Oceanside High School too. Well, he got he got transported to Oceanside High School. Like he moved from LA to Oceanside, and that's Mr. Animation. You remember him?
No.
He was a dancer. He was in the movie Breakin' 2, this and that. But he also went to Oceanside High School, got in a fight with some Samoans. I had to get in the middle and break it up because they were Crips and blooding. It's kind of wild. But yeah, so where was I digress. Sorry.
We're talking about how you got connected.
So the girl that I met,
Ruby.
I can't even remember how I met her, but she ended up becoming my personal assistant. Like, she was just like a real sharp Latina sister that was, had some ambition, was trying to do some stuff. And she really wanted me to take a listen to this group. She was like, my friends, if you could just listen to them. And I'm just like, I ain't got time for that.
If I had a dime.
Yo. I'm like, look, leave me alone, girl. Leave me alone. And so she just kept pushing the issue. Oh, you need to check them out. And then this is the part that was a trip is, so years before, so me and Magic, we pretty much were dominating as far as like a DJ production. And you got to understand, San Diego had, still to this day, what I would have to say is probably the dopest DJ production I've ever known, which was a company called Brother to Brother, I think, or Brother and Brother, something like that. But when I first moved to San Diego, they were on the radio. They were doing a show at San Diego City College. I had never seen or heard anything like this. Like, they were like, DJ Swan and DJ such and such are playing at the school. And I was like, they're promoting DJs at this place? Like, that's the headliner? Like, not Lakeside or, Ohio Players or George Clinton. That's not a band playing. It's just the DJs gonna play. You know what? I got to go check that out. So I went to City College. My cousin took me. Todd Adderley. Y'all remember Switch?
Mm-hmm. The group? Yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
I'm
God bless you for saying that. Why do you think we have these fans on right now? So you hear some noise. It's that time. So go ahead.
So you remember Switch?
Mm-hmm, the group,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you remember that they lost Bobby and the brother to the other big singer dude that was in the group. No, Bobby Bobby DeBarge.
Yeah, he was the top
singer before you had
L. He
L.
was the songwriter too.
But that's because you know, there was a lot of cocaine going on in LA. But thing is, okay, so Switch, and keep in mind, I could get some names wrong, but the guy who founded Switch was not the DeBarges. It was another cat in the group, and his name it eludes me at the moment. But the founder of Switch was looking to put a new Switch together because they lost Bobby DeBarge and the other brother his singer's huge. Like if I said his name, you'd know it. It's like Jeffrey Osborne. I think that's it. Is it Jeffrey Osborne? Somebody like Jeffrey Osborne had a brother who was in Switch, or whoever the other. There's two guys who were the lead singers in Switch. The one that was Bobby was the super soprano falsetto, and then the other one was like the tenor. The tenor alto thing, but they were the two lead vocalists. But because they quit the group or left the group, however they left the group, you looked it up. Who is it?
Well, I don't know. Can we trust it? According to you, Trick, we might not be able to trust the internet machine.
I don't know.
Here.
Hey, I want to hear what they say because you know I'm a confirm the truth.
Okay,
so
while he's doing that,
but
go ahead.
So me and my cousin, we're gonna go. We went to audition to take those spots. Because I sang, and my cousin was the soprano, like the falsetto singer, and I was the tenor, right? So we went to audition with the guy. We drove up to the house, and the guy who took us to the house was dating my aunt, right? Well, come to find out, so was the dude from Switch. And so when those two dudes seen each other, Our audition just got squashed right there on the spot. We didn't get out the car. He's just like, we just gotta go. I'm like, well, what happened? He's like, just don't ask. We just gotta go. And I was like, okay. That was before I got signed to Universal and became the West Coast protege of Curtis Blow. Does anybody know who Curtis Blow is? Are you sure? Because I don't know. People be sleeping on stuff, man. Like
we mentioned him in another one of these podcasts.
That's because they know him. Like they met him. They know who he
right.
is. Like he's the truth to them. But I'm saying like I could probably ask the average rapper that got a hit record right now. They don't know who Curtis Blow is.
Oh, that's hard to believe.
Because a lot of people stuck on Stupid.
But you know who you introduced us to? Well, Kurt was one.
Yeah.
That blew my mind at the time. Whip a Whip.
Wow.
Whip a Whip.
Now,
because I knew.
Hold on. Wait.
It's on that side.
Yeah.
Because I knew. I'm a real hip hop head, so I knew who he was even back then, when nobody really cared about.
Here's the quiz. Here comes the quiz.
Okay.
Can you find him in this picture?
If I had to say,
Will
he was
or Whip
in
a
this,
Whip?
Will and Whip a Whip.
If
He
Whip a
can't.
Whip.
First of all, if he could find me, then he could find Whip, because I'm in the picture too.
We got
That's crazy.
We got Will on the spot
He's
right
on
now.
the spot. Yeah, but just in his credit, the picture's not super clear. Like it's a little bit blurry.
This
and
the
it's,
only one
and it's
I
100 years
would
old.
think would
That
be
ain't
Whip
him.
a Whip,
But
but-
nah, you got the light skinned dude, right?
For real.
But he's a smaller version of the people in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you, bro.
But where?
I'm right there. That's me in the
Okay.
wife beater. You see that?
Yeah.
You see who I'm dapping?
And that's Ruby right there, huh?
Could be. I don't know. She might be in that picture. But you see who I'm dapping?
yeah.
I'm giving daps right now in the pic.
That's Whip.
That's Whip.
Oh yeah.
And Whip's and what you bring Whip's name up for
Lord
those
of
of
Whip
us-
a
mercy.
Whip
Here we go.
is an
Why,
MC
Will?
from one of the early crews called the Fantastic Five, which were like juggernauts of old school hip hop, like the pioneers of MCing. You know
When
what I'm
Jay-Z
saying?
talks about the Cold Crush,
Yeah.
the Cold Crush used to battle the
Fantastic.
Fantastic Five.
Okay.
And they were in the movie called Wild Style.
Boom.
And that was like my favorite movie back in the days. And I remember when they used to battle, the routines they had. And then I remember the music, because I had the Cold Crush tape, the Fresh Wild Flying Ball.
Wild Style, for all of you knuckleheads that don't know, who claim to be B-boys or hip-hop heads or whatever. Shut up. Wild Style is the first movie that covered graffiti, rapping, breaking, MCing. All 4 elements. So, that's what's happening. And yeah, this is so that was the first ever. In addition to that, Whipple Whip was the first ever Latino rapper.
Okay.
So
when what did you say, was Rosie, or who's your sister again? I'm sorry, give
no,
it to me again.
Rose is a girl that came from Chicago, that went to Oceanside High School. That is another success story of Oceanside. She became,
And she was dope. She was a dope MC.
I used to
Female.
write for her. Like Rose was a girl. I used to date her. She went to Oceanside High School. Yeah. And then after we dated, I got offered to go in the studio, but I had these visions of things. Like I always wanted to see things grow and blossom. So I would see pictures of things. I saw an image of these guys before y'all seen NWA. Cause and on God, the first show I booked them on in LA, who was in the front row?
Oh, Cube now. It was a bunch of cats in there.
Wow.
Yeah. As I was saying, NWA, now let's not get it twisted. Let's do some real math. Okay. NWA, y'all know them. They got a movie about them. They broke records with their this and that and whoop-de-wop. But what you don't know is that when they were just starting to blow up, there was another group that started to blow up too, called B-Boy Rage, with one single called "More Bounce to the 40."
Will loves that song.
Because the song is dope. You can play it in the club right now. I'm not joking. You can play that club. You can play that song in the club right now, and people were gonna go, "Oh." It smashes. It's a classic record. And let's not get it twisted. It came out of the same camp as all these people we talking about. Like it came out on Lonzo's label. He put it out. Lonzo, the same guy that put out the Wrecking Crew. And there's other things that have come from that same scenario in addition to that also came from Oceanside. The DJ that was playing, okay, because I ended up taking that picture, this club right here. Mm-hmm. When that picture was taken, had I took over the club?
Yeah.
So
What club was that?
okay,
Distillery.
Escondido.
The what?
The distillery.
Okay.
That y'all might know it as the Ice House. You heard of that?
I'm not. So
You
I
ain't from here?
No, I
Girl, where
got
you
here
from?
too. Well, I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
I know
So
Ann Arbor,
you know,
Michigan. I got
a lot of the
people in
Detroit
Michigan.
connection. I was born in California, but I was raised in the Midwest.
Man.
Yeah.
Yo, your town is in y'all responsible for a lot. Like that area is responsible for a lot. And I connect with them a lot on a lot. I mean, we talking about, like I said, this can get real extensive because, we're also partly responsible for the biggest things going on in the game right now. Whether we talking about Beyonce, because Beyonce comes from a group called what? Destiny's Child. They were from Houston, and from Houston they came to California to a thing called the Urban Network Convention. Used to happen every year in Palm Springs. Ironically, the same place where now you call Coachella.
Isn't that something?
But me and that guy over there sitting in the corner with his headphones on.
That would be Chris Swan.
Chris Swan, just a little segue over to the right a second. He had a band called Egyptian Acid Rock that me as a hip hop head, I was doing some stuff. I was walking around. I had already had a history with these guys, and already missing this dude, and he made me change like things. Let me rephrase that. I have a tendency to be so committed to something. I might be on the spectrum of being autistic. I don't know, but if I start something, I have to finish it. Like I just have that issue. So some things take a long time because someone says, "No, I'm not doing this." But I just never stop. So
you stayed up. So when you got this, I guess it was tape back then. Did you got handed a tape?
I didn't get no tape. She told me word of mouth.
Okay.
I'm a real. I don't want nothing plastic. Keep all that. Like a tape. Somebody can make a tape that don't really. It's not really real. Like, come on, y'all seen Milli Vanilli and y'all about to see a gang of Milli Vanillis with this AI shit because this is gonna be a normal thing for somebody to bullshit you. But
so just on her word of mouth, you went to see him.
On her word of mouth, I knew one of them because one of the things I kept digressing from is as a DJ, we battled a lot, and there was one crew that stepped to us, and it was y'all talk.
Ghost Crew.
No, it wasn't Ghost Crew. It was what's Wilson's first name?
James.
James.
Yeah.
So James used to have a different crew that was just DJ, right? Before y'all was a crew, he just had a DJ crew, right? Okay, so it was like a battle thing, like like everything's about we're bigger and better than you. Well, when you're us, and you've got a reputation that's built on work and investments, and like we own this equipment, we had to buy it, we all these things are real things to us. We're not like this, and it's not like there was we could explain it to 10 people like who was doing what we were doing, but if someone chose to do what we were doing, they couldn't just ride off of us. They got to break bread somehow, right? So So James and them, they're like, we're better than y'all, and we're like, oh, you're better than us? So I tell you what, you put your gear up, we'll put our gear up, we'll go down to the Oceanside Pier, what is that, rec center? Do we need to pause? Or are we good? Okay, so we go down to the. Don't be shocked if somebody find a way to cut this shit off. I'm just saying, because the deeper it gets.
No, say it.
So as I was saying,
say it.
So we're so we do this battle at Oceanside, and the battle, the parameters are whoever wins this walks away with the gear. Because don't tell me you want to battle me.
Because that's how things were settled.
What?
What
do we have to gain if you have no name but we're popular and you want to battle us? Like, yo, what you gonna put on the table? What's gonna make that valuable to me? Like, just because you want to do it? Like, what does that mean? Okay, and so that was the parameters. Oh, okay, so y'all want to come up on our name? Put your gear up. Okay. And this got real. Like, it got like, this is not like there was 10 of these things happening. It was just like, we're that, and you want to get at our crown. Check this out. Bring your gear to the table, because otherwise that don't make no sense to us. And we were very serious about it. Like, right?
Sounds like
no,
it.
I'm talking about to the point, they don't know these parts, but like security, when we booked the venue, I'm telling trade secrets now. So every security knew when this battle is over, don't let nobody leave, because we're going to own their gear when it's over, and they ain't going to want to give it to us. This is before the battle starts. So now, it goes, and the crowd's going, like, and the thing is how we had it set up was they had their gear set up on one side of the room. We had our gear set up on another side of the room. Where's the schematic for this? Is there a rule book somewhere somebody got? We just made the rules and we did it. And so here we are, they get to go, and the crowd, can you make the crowd go? Like it'll be the thing where now the decibel thing got to be there to know.
That's the barometer.
The barometer.
Yeah.
So now it's like, who's got it? What? Oh, wait, they got it. Oh, wait, we got it. And it became a thing of how we did it is they just get it, and we just had to cut them off. Like, we just had to come in and be like, yeah, that was cool, but how about, and then they're like, oh, shit, they picked that record? Damn. Okay, hold on. And then they had to come back with it, oh, yeah, that was cool, but how about this? Whatever, like, and so now we go back and forth.
Y'all, just so you know, Trick is there right now.
Yeah,
he is there. He is there right now.
But we won. Don't be mad. Don't hate. We did win. But check it out. We were also gentlemen about it, because we were like, you guys were dope.
You gave it to him.
So you can keep your shit.
Okay.
Because technically, we just want to see the scene grow. Okay? If you was on some bullshit, we was going to take your shit. Because y'all are doing some real shit, rock that shit. And so then the next thing I know, like, I don't know how many years or whatever later, this girl's coming at me, and then they introduced me to the group, and my man's in the group. The guy that we battled a few years earlier, and I'm like, oh, well, what's up, nigga? And so that was kind of me going, okay, God's talking, I got this. And so like right away, I just started working with them,
Okay.
and you know, it didn't take. I mean, how long did we work? It was pretty quick. You know, like
It was quick, and I
No
mean,
nonsense.
it's funny because I didn't even know about that. You know what I'm saying?
know
Yeah.
about
But-
the battle?
Yeah, but I met James through Joey
Yeah,
because I
The
was
other
solo. Like Joey said, I was a battle rapper.
Slim.
I was,
Yeah.
And I was battling somebody at the mall and some dude from Palm Springs. His name was King Saul. He came out here. I didn't know who he was, but evidently they was watching the battle, and then afterwards they got at me like, hey, whoop, they had a show. No, yeah, they had a show in Palm Springs, but I think they was from IE. I don't know
yeah.
if that's all the
That's
same.
they right
Yeah.
next door.
But so I needed a DJ. They was like, but you gonna need a DJ. Only person I knew that I could get a DJ from was Joey. So I go to school and I get at Joey. Boom. Joey introduced me to James. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
how
And I
that
went to
went.
James and saw him get down, and he made a tape for me with some beats and some scratching and mixing.
And you still didn't know Joey as a rapper yet?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
okay.
But we wasn't
Rapping
we didn't
together
link up.
yet.
Yeah.
Boy, these niggas was cold. I give it to him.
And that's why I hated More Bounce to the 40 ounce. Cause I mean it would have been different if we would have really got a chance to do the music
Rap.
that really represented us.
Right.
But
I agree.
I felt like everybody knew us for that. And it's like that ain't even really who we are, how we get down. So but I saw the response. I couldn't deny that. You know what I'm saying? Because people did like it.
And see, that's ironic because I did to him what they did to me, and I
Which is what?
well, you know, when you get a deal, at the end of the day, money talks. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was super skilled, but he couldn't necessarily buy the deals that I had to give him. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't necessarily afford the plugs I was hooking him up with. And everyone else I knew, they were charging it for everything. You know what I'm saying? They like that's what they do today. What he got from me doesn't happen today. Nobody does it. I mean, honestly, I was talking to Don. I was like, I'm going to do this podcast in Oceanside, and it's gonna be the last favor I do because I just did TMZ and they flew us out, and I was like, it's really just a difference in mindset, okay? And me coming here, I was kind of mad at y'all in a way. Like, I was mad because I'm like, do they know what we're doing? Like, do y'all have any clue how big this is? Like, this is huge.
That's why I wanted you to be a part of it.
I know that.
You was like the main key because I understood for me, the motivation for the whole series was the fact that I got out. Even when I was in prison and I had cell phones, I looked up like who's rapping in the O. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I saw who was rapping, and it was like, oh, okay. It was some of the cats was dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, I didn't
What
see
is that?
nobody working together. I didn't see nobody working together really.
Yeah, wow.
And then I didn't see it was just like they didn't really know. I knew they didn't know the past. You know what I'm saying? Because there had been a gap because everybody what happened, everybody really started getting locked up. People started having families and moving on and doing what they do.
Yeah.
So, but I knew you couldn't have this story without y'all because y'all are like, when I came from LA and I didn't even know, I used to go to shows, bro, that y'all would have at the Mission Bowl before y'all even knew me. I would be locked up, coming home on a furlough with one of my partners, and we'll go to the show, and I saw y'all. That's how I saw Ja Love. Shout out to Ja Love. You remember Ja Love from San Diego?
Oh,
He was
you talking about was he reggae?
he
kinda?
was from
He's kind
kind
of
of,
a ragamuffin dude.
but he was hip hop too. But they was from Brooklyn. They came from New York.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They had a single out too when we had they had the Dance Craze, I think was the name of it. And Park Slope is dope.
Well, okay,
You remember that?
Mhm, yeah.
So, and it was a few other people that
Remember
I was
Green
like,
Eyes?
nobody ever talks about Magic Trick Productions because I remember the flyers. And I'd be like,
A
whoa.
billion flyers on the cars when you come out of a club back in the day.
That was us.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's
That
another
was
thing you got to
everywhere.
consider that in it that was
Street team. That's right.
No, that was guerrilla marketing. I mean, and you also have to understand this. Labels did not have that. We brought that stuff to them. Okay, I got signed to Universal. They did not know what a street team was. Okay, we told them what a street team was. Then next thing you know, they got a guy who's in charge of street teaming. But this is my point: is we were at the catalyst of change for a lot of things, and now I'm gonna burn your face because there's a couple of major things that people take for granted. First of all, let's consider this: Oceanside is the base for the largest Marine base in the United States per capita. Okay, which means that no matter where you're from, if your kid joined the Marines, he ended up in Oceanside. At least for his basic training. Okay, I was DJing at the enlisted club as a kid that wasn't old enough to be in a club. But I was DJing on bass when rap came out. When rap started to flourish, I was DJing. So that meant that I was picking songs. There was the Music Center. You know, it's unfortunate that, you know, certain people, you know, look, there's people that, most of the people that I dealt with have one of two stories about me. They either have the story of being in opposition to me and they're probably mad at me, or they have the story of seeing me do something that they didn't understand when it was happening, and then they're like, damn, I wish I'd have jumped in a car, or I wish I'd have invested in that. There was a guy that used to own a club in San Diego. His name was Sam Barris. It was called Stratus. Mm-hmm. They used to do commercials all the time. He produced the commercials. That was his thing. He had a production house. And so like everyone who did any kind of radio spots, they would go through his production house to get the radio spots done. So you'd hear all these San Diego commercials that all pretty much sound the same because he would voice over most of them. Well, that same guy, you know, met us as Magic Trick, and we ended up, you know, being like premier performers at his club when rap was just starting, and he didn't know nothing about it, but he was like, well, these guys seem to have a draw and the people like it. So he had us come and we would sell his place out. Well, years later, I got in touch with the dude. We ran into each other, and he's like, man, he's like, if I would have known what rap was going to do, he's like, I looked up one day and I saw Coolio on something, and I was just like, man, Magic Trick was way better than that, you know? And I mean, so that was, you know, some random dude that, you know, saw all kinds of music and didn't catch it right away, you know.
And it's like you said earlier, how many degrees of separation to get the Trick? How many is that? You said 3?
Might be less than that now.
So when Will was here, he was talking about the hip hop series and all that, and then we started talking. I'm like, how do we? I mean, because we started talking. I said, you know, Trick,
Yep.
and you was like, yeah, you know, Trick.
Again, 3. That's just 2 right there.
That's 2.
But now, peep game on how cold this is, the math on this. And I'm saying, like, see, we sitting in a global spectrum right now. Don't get it confused. What's the biggest music festival in the country right now? Coachella, right?
Yeah.
Would you argue with that?
No, I think it is. I don't know if I'm the one to ask.
Let me just say this. Do you know about Coachella?
Absolutely.
And you're not necessarily a festival goer, right?
That's right.
That's why it's the biggest, because everybody knows about it.
I'm more of the what is it, the jazz festival kind of gal.
No.
And you take your food.
We could go there too, because that's connected back to us too.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
Like
yeah.
Essence.
Yeah, stuff like that. Well, not really Essence. I like we're getting off of the top a little bit, but I'm more of the.
We're really
I like
not.
that. I like going and you get your food, you lay out the thing, and everyone's so community. I sit there and people are like, you want this, we exchange. It's
That's the festival vibe.
That's me, though. I'm more of that kind
That's
of gal.
the festival
I'm not
vibe,
the
though.
Yeah, it is,
Coachella
though.
going type.
But see, but
That's
you got to
what
keep
they
in
do.
mind, the festival vibe is genre based, right? So, and every genre has their musical
Sure,
base.
no,
They
I
have
get
their,
that.
you know, and their fetishes or whatever. Okay, but the Coachella event technically comes from an event he and I were on that was unheard of. We did an event with jointly. I had other partners that I was working with. One was Lucille Ball's grandson. You know Lucille Ball, like I Love Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then another gentleman whose name is Brandon Powers. You know, collectively there was an energy put together that produced the largest underground concert in North America. No commercial advertisement, no radio, no television, no billboards. This was all word of mouth and guerrilla marketing. 60,000 people came.
No, I get that. Oh yeah.
That was in Big Bear. Only one band played that show, his band, Egyptian Acid Rock. opened the event at 4:20. The event went till 10 a.m. the next morning.
Rappers Delight played after us.
Yeah, but Rappers Delight doesn't have a band. There was
yeah,
no
yeah,
bands.
right,
there was
right,
only
yeah.
track acts and DJs that played that gig.
Right,
And nothing had ever been done of the sort before. And now Coachella uses that format. And I consulted for them without knowing that I was consulting for them because of a guy who was a promoter in LA working with one of the groups that I was producing and did. But those, I have so many of those stories. Like, I don't know, like, and San Diego has been the base for most of the stuff to come out of. What people don't recognize is San Diego's a very intellectual place. Okay, they consider San Diego to be America's finest city. That's what it's determined or called. You look at the side of the police cars, America's finest. That's what it says, right? So when they did the riots in LA, they were like, "Help, San Diego! Please send some people up here to help us because we need help." Yeah, and we need some smart people. Sorry, yeah, hurry. And so that's what San Diego is. And so, not to get it twisted, hip hop culture really founded in New York. Right? Founded in New York. There's no discrepancy about it. Like, no one's going to argue the fact that it came out of Harlem or Brooklyn or whatever, some part of New York, right? The Bronx. All right. But it didn't really start to pop until it came to the West Side.
And one of the things we were talking about, Trick, in one of these episodes, like speaking from personal experience, is I had a cousin that lived in New York. And so she, and a lot of people were saying, we have people everywhere.
Yeah.
But you're hearing this music. That's how, again, like street marketing, you're hearing about what song is that? What you got on your tape? Because back then we had, and you're playing these tapes. You're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
That traveled also from family members, friends.
You got kids
and
in New
stuff.
York.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, I graduate high school tomorrow, and I'm already enlisted in the Marine Corps. So I'm out of here.
Say that.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a fact. Like, the kid that I like is a kid named Romeo Armstrong. He was a young dude. He was older than me, but he came from New York, joined the military. He was in Camp Pendleton. Like, I'm playing at the club. I'm DJing at the club. All these cats are young cats. They're a year or two maybe older than me, and they're in there dancing, and they want to hear shit. They want to hear the stuff they rocking. So they're coming to the DJ. Hey man, you got that new Run DMC. You got that new LL Cool J. And I'm like, then I go down to the music center. Hey bro, I need you to order this record. I need you to order this record. And it got to the point where when rap would come in, they would have me listen to it so I could pick the songs they could buy. Like, as a store. They're gonna like they get sent samples, that like, hey, this is the latest of all the singles that just came out, and they're like, okay, we're gonna order 10 of these, 5 of those, oh, this song sucks, that was, so I was that guy at the store. I was coming down there going, and it's funny because the premiere song that I first picked was Buffalo Gals. I don't know if you remember. So we're talking about no one ever heard of this guy, no one ever seen this song, no one ever heard of this group. It wasn't like a thing, and I'm in there going, and of course you pull them out, you got to play them. I developed this thing called the radio listen, where if it didn't pop within the first 8 bars, it was out of there. You know what I mean? I'm listening to a lot of songs, right? So I don't have time to listen to a whole song and determine if it's good. So it became a thing where I'm like, well, if they can't catch you within the first 8 counts, then.
And I think you're really also the culture of the music industry, especially back then and now. But I'm just talking about, they used to get and go to the radio DJs and give the songs. What you all were doing was revolutionary in
Absolutely.
that you were right there with the people. What you're saying from your air seat,
Absolutely.
what you just said, and you yourself was gauging from the vibe that you were getting what was hitting and what was not. And I think it's really important for people to know, who didn't know, how much control and the music industry still has, but how much back then that they had.
They're learning right now how much control the industry has, because they're looking at a court case with a guy who supposedly was just a rap mogul. But for some reason, his news is right there, right next to the dumbass president, rap mogul. And the powers that be are seeming to lean more towards this rap dude than even the president. Because it's clear that he's a criminal, but it's not clear that he's going to do time or that he's going to get just served. Right? I've lost friends based on that conversation because I've got friends that are like, oh yeah, have you ever seen Puffy do a crime? And I'm like,
Don't ask that
what?
question, huh?
Are you Are you stupid? Like, yeah. And then someone might segue to, oh yeah, but if you're talking about that stuff with him and his girl in the hallway, that was just relationships. Wait, pause, homie. Let me just on that for a minute. You got a sister? Okay, no, you don't have a sister. Okay, how about your mama? You got a mama? You don't have a mama, nigga? Okay, all right. So you're an idiot. Okay, yeah, because that's what you have to be to not recognize that was a crime. That was a serious crime. I don't give a shit if they're in a relationship or not. Let that be my sister, my daughter, my grandkid, my come on, man. Dude's gonna come up missing. It's that simple. Yeah, I said it, and you can record it. You can tell whoever, because that's the truth. Period. And we wouldn't have to call the police.
So Trick, nowadays.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. So would you say, I mean, you have.
I lost some good friends behind
you were, again, planting seeds that created these flowers. How is it nowadays with this rap scene, in your opinion? Do you see anyone coming out that you think is, got the stuff? Rap-wise, I'm not talking about Egyptian rock.
No. Check it out. The stuff, you got to keep in mind, we all have the stuff. Like, the stuff is God. God has given us the stuff. Now, what we do with that stuff is a different story, and that's why you have all this debauchery, is because there's clearly individuals and or entities that recognize that we all have the stuff. So they're just running around trying to figure out how many different ways they can steal the stuff or mislead the stuff or take the stuff down the wrong direction or whatever. Now, I digressed from the bomb I want to drop on y'all, but I'm going to give it to you right quick. Okay, so the Marine Corps, boom. That's here. There's no getting around it. Don't sleep on it. It's a major piece of the fact and the history of rap culture because of it being right in Oceanside. It's not down in San Diego where they have the Navy training and all that. It's right here in Oceanside, the biggest Marine base in the country, which represents accessing the world. Yes or no? Okay. There's a thing in the scripture called rapture, right? Okay. Is it a coincidence that he's rapture? Is it? Because it's not a coincidence to me. Okay, I don't believe in coincidences. Everything happens for a reason, right? Okay, so with that being said, peep game on this, because this is just math to me. Okay, years ago, as I'm doing all this stuff, I meet a guy, he's in the Marine Corps from New York. He's got a cousin who's a DJ. His name is Eric C. Eric C. was like Magic, but more tenured at it, right? So if Magic was dope, Eric was seamless. Where if you were trying to find out when he was bringing them next record in by any kind of physical movements or some precursor sign, forget about it. He was seamless. Like, and I studied these people. I'm a student of this stuff. So I'm like, oh my God. This dude is dope. And then you had to have an MC now, right? So there's a progression that took place. So now this guy's cousin, seamless DJ, he marries to his cousin who has the biggest mouth ever. Like in other words, like if you met this dude, you'd be like, dude, you're either gonna die or you're gonna make a lot of money because you're so loud. And he made a lot of money because he was so loud. His name is Kevin Black. Y'all ever heard of him? But you've seen his work so much. You want to know who he is? Kevin Black that's not even really his name. And I'm not going to tell you his government name because that'd be his government name. He must not want everybody to know it. Because they called him DJ Black, then they called him Kevin Black because Kevin Black became the head of marketing and promotions for Interscope. He signed Snoop, 50 Cent, Eminem, promoted Pac, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, and I met him right here in Oceanside. Now, I don't know if you caught them names. But I'm saying, like, with all due respect, fuck everybody else. How about just the names that dude brought out?
Right.
From Oceanside, that's who he brought out. Now, here's the irony of all that. I knew him for years before he did that. Matter of fact, he had a group that did a record called Playing the Role. They were called The Masters. The Masters. Song called Playing the Role. Playing the Role. We just out here playing the role. I don't know if people know what playing the role means, but it generally means that that's not really what you do, right?
Right.
You're just playing the role, right? Because they were really Marines, and he was really a promoter, but he did a record. And so they needed a DJ to scratch because his DJ was not a scratch DJ. His DJ was a blend DJ. So he borrowed Magic, my DJ. And Magic Chicago wasn't big on scratch because that's where he's from. Hot Mix 5, that's who's from Chicago. Like they're house music, right?
Oh yeah.
That's where it's from, right? So Magic scratching, he was kind of new at scratching, but he was scratching. Compared to all the San Diego DJs, he was on this digga, right? And that was appropriate until you go to LA, where you had
They was everywhere.
oh my God, you had a whole nother monster. These guys, they didn't have the luxury of being in San Diego where it's all sunny and everything's cool and and you're gonna blend and people are gonna be like, you're awesome. No, in LA it's like, so this is what the scratching in LA sound like. That was scratching in LA, so you couldn't take this and go there and expect to get any love because you didn't have this stuff, right? You got to go stay over here where they really appreciate this stuff, okay? So that's the nature of that. It went down, but my point is, Kevin Black.
He's about to reach in his briefcase again. Here we go.
Knew this guy. Look like anybody y'all seen before?
Who is it?
Who does he look like? Who is that? Who does that guy look like?
Is that you?
Who does that guy look like? That's not him.
Trick, you're gonna have to tell us, honey, because I really can't. I don't know.
So he don't look like nobody to you.
I don't know.
Take a wild
Trick.
guess.
I don't want to guess. I do not. I already guessed. What is it?
Okay, let me see. Let's try a different one. How about this one?
Yeah.
How about this one?
Is that you?
Who does he look like?
Okay, featuring Trick. It says right there.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Most times when people pull this out, you know who they see?
Who?
Pac.
Oh, I can see a little in the eyes there. Sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, there were some other pictures I could have brought that would have made it even look more intense.
Yeah, what's that? The All Eyes on Me picture.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
This is the All Eyes on Me picture.
Mm-hmm.
Before it.
Before, yeah.
Right. But keep in
decades
mind.
Before.
Yeah. But my point is, Kevin Black knows this guy. And then he becomes responsible for the imagery of another dude. So he already had an image that he thought would sell. And so he gave it to this person. And then you know that person as Tupac.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You're giving the history.
I'm just saying. And now this one, here, I'm going to let you read that one.
No, I don't have.
Who's the managers on that one?
You mean the management?
Management team. Who is that?
Maury Alexander, Jerry Heller, Greg Mack.
Okay. There's at least two names on there that you should know if you don't. Did you see the movie Straight Outta Compton?
I did not see the movie.
But you're familiar with it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, had you seen it, then you would have also seen Jerry Heller being depicted as their manager. Mm. But he was my manager of a management team before them. And I don't have a beef with him. I went to his funeral, as a matter of fact, and none of them were there, and he made them lots of money. Lots of money. Okay. Did I have a contract with you guys?
No.
You know what's ironic about that is all I did for them was what Jerry was doing for me. He showed me how to be a manager. He showed me how to manage and how to care for people. And so, you know, I just can't endorse everybody's perspective of him because I didn't have that experience. I get it that, you know, he's a Jewish guy, and with all due respect, the ish thing is relevant, you know, but it's a truth. It's a truth. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lie. They're not lying to you when they say they're Jew-ish. Okay? We're the Moors. They're Jew-ish. Okay? Something like, kind of, sort of like. I mean, no disrespect. I love Jerry. Okay? I mean, and to me, it's kind of ironic because the people who make the most fuss about hip-hop are the ones that really gave us so much parts to it. Like, you know, I ran a club in Escondido, like we were just showing a picture, and I got that club because the mafia owned it before that. And they had an issue. My brother was bodyguarding for a mafia dude, and he got pulled over with cocaine in the trunk. And they owned 2 nightclubs, Cardiff, which was Distillery West, and Escondido, Distillery East. If anybody knows anything about the Distillery East history, it's got a real mafioso history. Very serious, not a joke. I ain't gonna say no names because they might still be around. I don't know. But they handed me the keys and said, don't ask for no money, don't ask for nothing to be paid, don't ask for no bills to be paid. Keep that chick to do the books. We're gonna pay her and get rid of the DJ. Well, I didn't get rid of the DJ. His name is DJ Rectangle. He became very famous as the DJ that was a DMC champion.
Rectangle,
Yeah.
is
DJ
that
Rectangle
right?
from the
From
club.
LA, from
DJ Rectangle was
right?
Warren G's DJ.
yeah.
White boy.
Damn, I didn't know that.
He's right from Rancho Bernardo.
That's crazy.
See, you learn a
I
little.
didn't even remember it. I didn't even remember.
DMC champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, for real. He's
Real
cold.
shit. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like so many things have been slept on. I mean, I picketed the music awards after having in 1992, which he may or may not be aware of, I had a major car accident in 1992. I had just dropped a single. I had just dropped the second Mixmaster album, and the second Mixmaster album was kind of like my departure in a way because the first Mixmaster album was the Mixmasters. It was me, the girl from Oceanside that I trained, Rose, and Tony G, who's the dopest DJ on the planet. Like, y'all don't know. Okay, so y'all know Will Smith. You know, if you know Will Smith, then maybe you know Jazzy Jeff. Jazzy Jeff was Will Smith's DJ. They used to have a DJ battle in New York called the New Music Seminar. At the New Music Seminar, DJ Jazzy Jeff that year was the favorite. They had no idea that this Cuban dude coming from LA was about to give him his lunch handed to him. And so 3,000 Zulus, which is Prince Whippoorwhip's people, 3,000 Zulus are in this room in New York during this New Music Seminar, and they were so certain that Jazzy Jeff was going to win that they let his wife or girlfriend or whatever be a judge. And, you know, that's called cheating, but what do I know? So Tony G battles Jazzy Jeff, and Jazzy Jeff ends up taking the prize. But let's see, he loses because Jazzy Jeff's girlfriend gave Tony G a bad score. Sound like a fix to you? Me too. So that means that the Will Smith that you know is sitting in my chair. I'm just saying, did I do bad math? I mean, I'm just like, see, people hate the facts. I didn't make this shit up. It's just a fact. Am I bullshitting? I mean, if the math is proper, then Tony G wins the battle in 1987. I was signed in 85. We've been working together 2 years. We have a single coming out with Curtis Blow called I Like Them Girls. That would have been the single that got pushed around the world because of the winning of that competition instead of Parents Just Don't Understand.
Oh.
So I'm not mad at nobody. God does what he does for a reason, because to keep it 100, they wouldn't have got in my drawers. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, no disrespect to no one, but all of y'all can eat a dick. I'm not getting down like that. Never have, won't happen, and that's a problem. I know it's a problem. I know it's a problem for everyone who takes dick. I ain't gonna say no names right now, because I could, I could speak some names, like I said, and I got receipts. Y'all tripping on a Cat Williams. Me and Cat, not a problem. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jaguar Wright. Okay. Talk to her, talk to Sophia Stewart, whatever. You're talking to people who have insight, they know stuff. Okay, I don't even know Jaguar, but I know some of the stuff she said is not no fallacies because I've seen some of the same stuff. Okay, y'all just getting around to figuring out that Curtis Blow exists. Like, are you kidding me right now?
That's kind of, for me, is a little hard to believe, because especially for those of us that have, he was
clap your hands, everybody.
Yeah.
If you got, come on, he's got
Yeah.
he had a heart transplant. Anybody know that?
No, did he recently?
In the last 5 years.
He's still with us, though, right?
He is still with us with a new heart. He got a heart younger than me. So
I just saw him on something, on one of them.
50th anniversary, maybe. But you got to keep in mind, there's also politics behind that. When I started working with Kurt was being blacklisted by Russell Simmons. It was a real thing. Like, they were hurt. They were butthurt. They were, it was like me and you were homies and, we're hanging out and, maybe we do a little cocaine here. But then all of a sudden stuff starts blowing up. Like all of a sudden your label is blowing up. Like your group is blowing up. Run DMC, here, back it up. Right back to Oceanside. Bow, look at that segue. Okay, check this out. So Kevin Black, Marine Corps, he's in the Marine Corps, right? Run DMC starts to pop. They're his homies. He goes AWOL to go on tour with them. The general at Camp Pendleton says, yo, we caught you. We got you. Do you really know Run DMC?
Is that right?
On God. Run back to history, find out when the first Run DMC concert was at the Marine base in the fucking rodeo thing that they have. Okay? But it was because Kevin Black went AWOL, got caught, and the general of the base of Camp Pendleton said, if you could just, get them to come do it. So, and they came.
That's something.
And that's the facts. Like, this is just the truth. Like, who knew?
So, Trick.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we covered some of that history and about, where it's going. What are you doing now?
Okay.
I'd say keep it clean, but
it's too late.
It's too late.
I done dirtied it up already.
But
I
go
done
ahead.
soiled it
What
up.
are you doing now?
Not sorry, but okay. So I am this is one of the things I'm doing.
So the shirts, what is
The
it?
Royal Love Tour.
Okay.
Because we are the royal genre of this genre.
Sure.
Curtis Blow's the king. He's the godfather of rap. I'm the West Coast protege of the king. That's a fact, okay? Everything else has been coming out of our loins since I started in this scenario, and it's still doing the same thing. So now we've segued into television and film and sports. So we have a new sport coming out. It's called the UBC, Universal B-Boy Conference, which is basically all 4 elements of competition, 7-man teams. And we're introducing it globally. We just watched them get mad about it because they killed it on the Olympics. They killed the breakdancing thing. If you saw it, it was a tactical movement that they did.
To have whack breakers?
Yes. No. On God, that's exactly what they did. So they, understand. You have to understand this. I indoctrinated these 2 girls that went to San Diego State University. No one understood it when I did it. I shook the whole world when it happened because they were 2 more sisters that graduated from San Diego State with degrees in African studies. And all I wanted to do was talk to someone who was intelligent and that knew something about us. They didn't have to look like us. They just needed to be intelligent and know something about us. Now, one of those girls, those two girls ended up producing a thing called the B-Boy Summit, which basically became a worldwide phenomenon, okay? One of them specifically wrote a document called White Like Me, 10 Rules of Etiquette for White People in Hip Hop. Look it up. It's deep. It comes from the Zulu culture and the infinity lessons and knowledge of self. That's what it is. And it doesn't matter who gets it. If they know it, then they got to share it and they have a responsibility to it. And that's all I've been doing my whole life. My whole career has been based on giving those elements to the people who can get it and whoever's willing to receive it. And so there's a lot of resistance to that, clearly there's a campaign to take us into a lower vibration, and it's consistent. They do it in everything, whether it's the food, medicine, in everything scientific. It's suppression, okay? And those of us who are aware, we've been doing exactly the opposite of that the whole time. Someone asked me, what do I do? I'm like, I just go the opposite direction of everyone else. When I moved to LA, I didn't have traffic issues. I just didn't go when they went. I go the other direction. So they're going to bed, I'm going to town. They're getting up to go to work, I'm coming in from shutting down the club.
So how can, for those that might listen to this or see this, how can they support you, Trick, in this Royal Love?
The Royal Love Tour? Well, they can't really support me because I'm not looking for support. I'm looking to empower. So I have a philosophy. If you haven't heard, you weren't supposed to know. I'm not really trying to promote my stuff because I don't want everyone to come to my stuff.
Why is that?
Because I don't want garbage.
Okay.
I want real efforts to be made. We do scavenger hunts so that no one that's coming to our event just got there by chance. I don't want people that are coming to cause problems. I don't want people that are coming with a low vibration. I don't care where you're from. I don't see, I come up in a club setting where they discriminated. All they did was find ways to discriminate. As if I'm sitting in the air chair and the club owner is someone who's racist per se, then I can play all the cool stuff until the people that it's from come in the room. Then I got to play Madonna or something else with less vibration on it.
But you want people to, obviously, this world tour and all that you're doing, you want
God is
going
to bring people to the program. That's what it's for. I just laid the foundations of these things. They ain't no different than me and this guy. I watched this man walk into a hole, and a hole that wasn't supposed to have a ending. So the fact that I saw him do double life, standing up, and he's out, standing up,
doing things,
and he's flourishing. Yeah. It contradicts this system, and it contradicts the devil's bullshit. And for me, that's what I'm in this for. He's one of my seeds, but trust me, he's one of my seeds. Like that flower bed over there. My company is God's Son Entertainment, and it's God, GODSUN, because what it actually is it's God's underground entertainment. That's what it represents. Like, we're underneath you. You're standing on our foundation, and understand this: when the seeds flourish, they grow upward, which means that anything standing on top of it's going to just get moved out of the way. It's that simple.
Well, you are, you have such a history, and you have such valuable information. This Godson Entertainment, I know can they find you on social media? No, they just gotta, that you said.
They have to know me.
They gotta know you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because Who Killed Mike Master Trick is the campaign I'm on. And I don't know if you understand that, but the tour itself every night is who killed Mike Master Trick, because I'm going to perform. And if you're on the stage or if you're on the lineup, at the end of the night, we're going to see who could kill Mike Master Trick. Did you kill Mike Master Trick tonight? Because he's going to come hot every night. He's going to bring some heat. So, you know, y'all better not be sleeping on that guy. And so the tour, understand this, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust the system. I don't trust what they're doing. And they've been consistent. Like, so I have groomed my whole program on underground events popping up. Like, I'm doing like Prince used to do this, and no one's been able to do it like him. Prince would go to a venue that morning, book the venue that day, start ticket sales that day, sell out in 2 hours in a 20,000 capacity
He was
venue.
a revolutionary, Prince. He was something else.
But that's my mentor when it comes to my business methods, because Prince did me a favor once. Some guys wanted to book a show, and they asked me, you know, who can you book that'll guarantee to sell out? I was like, Prince. And they're like, no, we need somebody bigger than him. I'm like,
bigger than Prince.
this is what they said. See how you look? That's how I look. When they said, they were like, we need somebody bigger than him. I'm like, okay, you guys are stupid. I got to go. And I was walking out the building. They're like, you know, come on. And I'm like, they're like, can you get Janet Jackson? And I was like, yeah, but Janet's not bigger than Prince. Okay, you guys are dumb. Let me, can Janet, Janet's not available. She's hanging out with, she was dating, what's her name at the time?
The bars.
Yeah, the brat dude. What's his name? Dupree. Jermaine Dupree.
Yeah.
She was dating Jermaine Dupree, and she wanted to spend time with him, so she wasn't doing shows. So she was like, I want to hang out with my honey. That was literally her vibe, right? And so no Janet. So now, okay, so they slept on it. Now they want Prince, right? So I'm like, okay. So I get in touch with his manager, Bobby, right? And Bobby's like, all right, Prince is, you know, tell Trick this. Tell him, I'm not touring right now, but when I tour, they'll get first right of refusal on my booking. Okay? Now, tell him to give you $50,000 as a deposit. Did you hear what I just said?
I did hear you. I'm listening.
Prince told them to give me $50,000 as a deposit. I didn't have nothing else to do with the show. Like, I didn't have to book it. I didn't have to sell no tickets. I didn't have to stage manage. Prince recognized the position and honored it. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Now, let me tell you how these dudes, they said, so they I give them this information, right? They tell me, just offer him more money. Okay. So you want me to go back and disrespect him because you're an idiot. Prince had 4 million fans on his, whatever you call it, his fan base, whatever, it was 4 million. This is not internet based. This is, 4 million organic people that just every month pay him $10 to be a part of his fan club, right? 4 million people give him $10 a month.
That's a lot of money.
That nigga's making $40 million. He ain't got to pick up a guitar, go in the studio. But you want me to offer him more money? Go kill yourself, dude. Like, stop it. Just don't talk to me. That's how I felt. And that was the end of their deal.
Messed off your 50, huh?
Huh?
And they
messed off
your
my
50.
50. That's right. But I never
bottom line of
forget.
the
See,
story,
I
yeah.
know that's right. He caught the math on that, and messed up my 50 G's, boy. And you just can't hook people up.
Well, I'm gonna say this before we finish, bro, because it's been a long time, right? And one of the memories I have of you is, I was the trouble kid in the group. I know you didn't want to put that out, but we know what it is. But I remember on a few occasions where you came to court with the record talking to the judge, trying to get me out. And it worked a couple of times. It worked at least twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before
That's
they was
facts.
like, no. You know. But
Well, it was
thank you
real.
for that. I do appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, I was wild. And it was just like, okay, the homie got me out. Boom. Back to business. You know what I'm saying? But years later, I reflected on that. You know what I'm saying? And even all the stuff we did with Lonzo, the Wrecking Crew, and everywhere we went, the stuff we did, bruh, that was because of you, because we knew you. You know what I mean? And you made a lot of that happen. However, you made it happen. We didn't know. I didn't even pay attention. I was just there for the ride. You know what I'm saying? And meeting the people we met, bruh, some of those memories, like, kept me inspired during the time that I was gone. Because I could watch TV and I would see people that we met before they was famous get famous and have lives in the industry. And it was one of those like, man, I remember that. I remember when we was there and I remember that feeling, especially back in those days because hip hop was still fresh. So it felt like something. Like now it don't really feel like nothing. It's just like, who's new? What's this? Back then it was like everything was a punch to the gut because it was something new, something that just blew your mind, you know, and you just watch how the creativity was just popping. And so we met a lot of good people and had a lot of good memories, man, and I appreciate you for that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
It meant a lot to me too.
And people didn't even believe me. There was people that I didn't even used to speak much on our experience in the industry and when I was in prison, because you find people in prison that some of their imaginations are so small they refuse to see that you experience something beyond what they know.
Yeah.
This is it. The hood, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I did all of that, but we did this too. You know what I'm saying? And I did it before I was 18. You know what I mean? So some of the people, I started keeping it to myself though, because most people, they thought they knew hip hop, and then when I would speak on it, and then I would realize, oh, they don't even know what hip hop really is. They just participants from listening or watching on TV. You know what I'm saying? So, but I did hold those memories, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good. It's good to know that was relative. I was, and I might have shared this with you, but I was dealing with another act somewhere, and they ran into you. Like somehow you guys were like either being transported together or something, and they told you were doing that. They were in rap and they were doing something in the industry or trying to do something in the industry, whatever. And you guys started talking, and then somehow he mentioned me, and you were like, "What?" This is the story that was told to me. They're like, "Yo," and this dude was like, "What? You know Trick?" He said, "Look, whatever Trick tells you to do, you need to do it." And he said, "Cause I didn't listen." and that's why I'm in here. This is what he said to me, and that just, that was a big thing to me. Like it was good because I saw God working right there. And I was like, there's no way that happened without God putting those two in the same space.
Well, speaking of listening and coming to the end of this, we heard a few of Will's, some of the things that Will has been putting out since he's been out now. And they are, I don't know anything about anything, but I enjoyed it. And I hope he shares those with you because we're on the side of moving forward here at Imagine Podcasting. And we certainly thank Chris for holding this space here. Giving a platform to those that need this to be able to launch. Very similar to your space of we need platforms like this by us, for us, to tell these stories because we'll be able to tell them from the people who were really, truly there. Not just there. So we appreciate you, Trick. And any sort of, parting words before we wrap this up, this segment?
Well, I just appreciate you guys putting this platform together, inviting me. It was a big deal for me to come. I don't do a lot of interviews, so this was a very big deal to me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come reconnect with family, really. And God is amazing. You guys need to buckle down and get connected to your Creator if you're not already, because there's some real trying times ahead of us, and they're going to be trying for those that are ready to fail.
Well, this has been the Music for Life podcast. This is our special edition talking about the hip-hop scene in the 80s and 90s, and we appreciate both Outwork Dream Killers, Will Harrison's a.k.a. Give It To Me, Will.
Divine Rival.
Yeah.
A.k.a. Willski. I gotta, it is what it is.
Willski is
He never
the
died.
divine rival.
Yeah.
And Trick, thank you so much for sharing not just your experience, but your knowledge. It is so needed during a time like this. And on behalf of Chris Swan, we want to say thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I can smoke now?
You're out, not here.
No.
Hey, you remember we did Juneteenth with Curtis Blow and Def Jeff?
Yeah, that's the...
Again on the microphone.
Free at last, in contrast, finally do my thing. I'm not claiming a throne, I'm not a prince or a king, but I reign, and my DJ's always setting the pace yourself. To the rhythm of the snare rhythm, basically, you'll agree, versatility is the key to longevity, which makes this future looking for me. This style's hilarious, cause I'm Aquarius, and that's the reason. Trick rhymes go various ways to amaze, and then again, it's only a phase to get you thinking, or at least have you stuck in a daze, cause I'm hyper, strike like a viper, just like a peach whip.